They not do that so that I can not have to screw with that every single time I want to start streaming, which would be really, really upsetting. That would make me switch to Twitch, I'm just saying. I gotta change my stream key every fucking time I stream. I'm not gonna be a happy camper. Because that means I gotta copy a thing, go into the settings, paste it in, and then go back to what I was doing. Whereas with their older, apparently not as good software, I had only stream copy the key in one time, and it would always be there forever. And I never had to screw with it again. Unless there was a problem, which there usually wasn't, so that's annoying, but we got it figured out. We're happening. This one might be broke, so let's delete this. And we'll create another one. Because this is a new link, apparently, probably. Question is where do... Okay, there it is. I was like, where do I get the link to it? Okay, paste that in. Type in the stuff again. Get out of the way, Twitter thing. I need to see this. Sorry, the stream isn't happening just yet. There we go. Hang on. Tweet. Go. Okay, good. So yeah, the setting up of the streams is now considerably longer because of YouTube's bullshit and deciding to change up the web interface for seeing if your stream is actually fucking working. So thank you for that, YouTube. Especially, again, the whole key stream thing switching out every fucking time, which I, again, very much am not happy with. So let's hope they fix that. Still gotta get the game launched, so just a second. This is one of those games where if you fuck with it before it's, like, going, it changes the full screen into windowed, and I hate that because I have to switch it back. So, criticism to Rockstar, please stop fucking changing my view mode from windowed to, or full screen to windowed, because that's, again, another thing that I have to change. The less things I have to change that I want to be a certain way, the better. Everyone and anyone should learn and understand that. I just gotta wait for this to get into a phase where it's loading so that I can change the stream so that you guys can see this. So give us a second. It's gonna be black screen for just a few more minutes. Just gotta get it to where it's not gonna change my mode from windowed to full screen. Alright, I think I can safely change the setting now. Alright, Grand Theft Auto, go. Is it not getting it? Okay, there it is. Cool. Alright, let's minimize that so we don't see it now. And then I want to make sure it's here. Waiting for it. I'm going to put that there briefly. Not the entire monitor, please. Okay, yep, I see it. It's there. God damn it. I click one thing and everything is just like my computer fucking has a fucking panic attack and shits itself. Alright, so I am back after a little bit of not streaming Hitman 2, which we were in the middle of, and then I stopped because, well, I feel like the problem with Hitman 2 was I was getting really caught up on side things where I'm not, like, advancing the story or doing things that might be, like, it seemed like I was just repeating the same shit over and over, and I feel like whenever I do that, it's not fun. It's not exciting. It's not streamable. So we get back in there, we do some new missions, some new maps. We can stream again. But like, there's not much left. Like, it seems to me that Hitman 2 is about doing the same level again and again. Doing different stuff because the levels are so fucking massive. So, I'd be able to stream the main targets that I have to kill, or like some interesting challenges that I feel like I can do without taking 60 hours to do it. But just me screwing around in it, doing the same junk over and over, I feel like would be boring. So we might do more Hitman 2, other than the story. But I'm gonna try and focus on the story and then, like, challenges. I guess the problem with it is that I get caught up in the challenges in a level and I don't want to go to the next level because I feel like once I complete the main story pieces of each level, I'll feel like I'm done with the game and I won't want to play it anymore. Even though there are additional challenges to be completed, I feel like once the story is done, the whole game is done. So that one's a hard one to stream, as it turns out. I didn't really catch that until I was well in it. Hi, Kyo the Gamer. I'm fine. Annoyed at work, but hopefully it will suck less as soon as I can work from home, which I worked from home for 1 week, and then I was like, you gotta come into the office this week. And I was like, sweet, I'm gonna go back to work from home next week. And they're like, oh, hey, by the way, yeah, we need you to work in the office again next week. And it's like, double middle fingers, fuck you. I get 1 work from home week and then they take it away from me. For an undisclosed amount of time. Although, my boss said, the plan is to go back to work from home next week. So, I'm gonna fucking shit in her coffee if she does not allow me to do this. Because I got the brief taste of it for 1 week. And then immediately had to go back into the office. And have to be there for a 2nd week. And I hate being in the office. It's noisy. There's an air conditioner thing directly above my head that freezes me when it turns on. And I can't hear anybody because, again, it's noisy. And the headset that I use at work is a piece of shit. So, I like being here in my apartment where it's quiet. I can hear the person talking to me on the phone. I sit in my own chair. I can have my own beverages and snacks. It's just infinitely better in every way. So if you get the ability in your job to work from home, do it. You will be much happier. And now we wait for this to load. It's doing that thing where it loops the music around again, telling me that it's taking a lot longer to load than it should. Probably because I was not in focus for the game and they're pissed at me for not being in focus of the game. But it should be loading now. It does this sometimes, especially when I, again, click out of the game. Okay, it's loaded now, thankfully. So, this is GTA Online, which you are all familiar with. I've streamed this many times, and you guys know what to expect. I haven't, I don't think, streamed this since the... Oh god. What is that vehicle? Is it in here? No. Let's see, it must be in here then. Yeah, it's this ugly piece of shit here. Okay. Yeah, there's not too many new cars coming out that I really like. There's a couple that seem like they might be interesting. But the one that I want out of this update is going to be this one. I've already tested it in my weapon test map that I made. So I know how it drives, and it drives pretty good. So I'm going to probably end up getting that one. As you can see, it's insanely expensive. But then we have this guy, the Progen Emirus, which I've actually... I don't think I've tested that one. Expecting that response. Yeah. I mean, you're the only one in here, Kaio, so you're gonna get a response because you're the only one here. But, yeah, so out of all these cars, I've tried all of them except this one. They're okay. They're not great. I don't really like pretty much any of them except this one. So that's the one I'm gonna buy, and I've been kind of getting the money for it. I kind of don't want to buy it at 2,500,000 because that's an ass load of money, and I feel like it'll eventually come down in price if I wait a while. But yeah, so the casino update came out. It's pretty awesome. It allows you to actually gamble like you would in a casino. The games play exactly as you would expect them to, which is really cool, because a lot of games that had casinos in them in the past was just like kind of a really basic, shitty version of what you'd play at a casino, and not at all like what you would expect. But in this game, they are literally one for one. Like the programming behind the odds of like what cards you're gonna get might be kind of fucked up, and it might not be in your favor. So these games might actually have shitty odds compared to a real casino, or maybe they got it perfect. You know, I can't say because I have not delved into the code. I'm not a developer, nor would I have access to their code, so I couldn't tell you exactly whether this is 100% accurate to a casino's odds or not, but all I can say is that it is very reminiscent of being in a casino. Let's just say that. It has my second favorite casino game, which is Blackjack. Just trying to figure out where my other car is. Where the fuck is the damn thing? Tell me it's not. Hang on a sec.
All our operators are...
So it's not destroyed.
Hey,
where the fuck is this thing then? Wondering if it's at the nightclub. Because it should be here. So there's a car that I won. I actually won the car at the casino. Oh, you're too young to be in a casino? That's... yeah. I would recommend not ever going in one then, because they will hassle you so much. My parents took me on a trip to Vegas when I was like... it was the same year as the 9/11 attacks. So... when the hell was that? What year was that? Was that 2001? I feel like that was 2001. But I was at school when that happened, so it might have been 2000 that we went to Vegas then, because it was in the fall that we went to Vegas, and then the following, like sometime around then, 9/11 happened. So I think it was like, is that a 9 at the end there? Oh, 2001, yeah. So must have been that I went to Vegas in 2000. It was not a fun experience as a child, because every place you went, they were like, "Whoa, you can't be here. You're underage." So definitely stay away from casinos until you're of age, because they're dicks. And I have been back to Vegas at least once since then. That was when I was of age, though, and they're way better about it then. They don't give you... They check your ID once, and then anywhere you go from that point, you're okay, because they know that you're of age. And it's okay. I mean, Vegas does have some shit for kids. Like, there was a really... Like, basically, if you go to a fair... They have the Midway. One of the casinos had that in its basement, which was fucking awesome. The Circus Casino has a literal, actual circus in it. That was pretty sweet. The MGM Grand had, like, live shows and this awesome rainforest cafe, like, restaurant thing. I need a car, actually. Let's go steal that piece of garbage.
Hello? Is anyone there?
No fucking way!
Yeah, I'm stealing your car, thanks, bye.
Hey, come on!
GTA. Yeah, Vegas is a lot more fun when you're old enough to gamble. Because then you can actually play the casino games, which are fun, but, you know, you lose your money. So, you really want to make sure you save up some money. If you're underage, your parents will probably be like, hey, here's some money. But, yeah, you'll lose it a lot. You'll lose money fast in Vegas. Most of the casinos have really high minimum amounts that you have to pay to play. My preferred amount to play any game at a casino is $5. There are places where you can do lower than that, like $1 or $3, which is way better. There's one casino in Vegas called the Cortez, which is downtown. And it has like $1 and $3 tables for certain stuff. So that one is probably the best for your money, bang for your buck wise, if you don't want to spend a lot. But there's so much to do in Vegas though that it's like you don't even really have to gamble that much. There's just a lot to look at and see and do. So this car here is the car that I won at the casino. I won this car there. Now you might say, well, that's pretty sweet, and it is cool, but here's the problem. This car is worthless. It literally, if I take this to the customization place to sell it, they will literally give me no money for this car. So it was basically a cardboard box with wheels on it, in my opinion. So don't want to play a casino because you don't want to risk being... Well, yeah, I mean, here's the thing about being addicted to gambling. It's really easy to stop playing when you don't have any more money. So I put aside a certain amount that I'm going to gamble. When we were out there with my friend Tyler as an adult, I was like, let me do $20 of gambling a day. And when my $20 ran out, I stopped gambling. So you just got to make a system and stick to it, and you're fine. It just kind of sucks when you blow that $20 in like 5 seconds and then you have nothing to do for the rest of the day. But again, Vegas has so much to do that won't be a problem. There's like things there's a lot you can do without even paying money. Like just go walk the strip for like an hour and you'll see so much stuff and you won't have to worry about paying anything because it's all just like you see it, you walk by it. Like, oh god, what casino is it that has an animatronic battle? Maybe they don't even have it anymore, but it used to be... I think they called it the Palisade. It's like a giant mall that has a canal and it rains. It's very cool. But yeah, I could go on and on about all the stuff that I saw and did. But it's pretty neat. Ooh. This is a nice car. I bet this is a player car. And I can get in it. Cool. That's pretty sweet. I'm gonna get out of it now, though. But, yep. I tend to limit myself to $20. If I go to the casino up in Traverse City, which we have done a few times, I will sometimes go up to 40 because my dad likes to stay a bit longer than 5 seconds. Last time I went, I lost all the stuff that I was going to gamble with. And I left the table because I wanted to go do something else. I actually wanted to play blackjack instead of craps, which is my favorite game. But they didn't have enough tables open. There was like 1 or 2 tables for $5 minimum that you could do, and that was it. And I was like, I want to play blackjack, but there weren't any tables open, so I was like, alright, fine, I'm just going to walk around. Sweet. 50,000. Nice. So, this wheel is pretty cool. It lets you get one of these prizes a day. And there's some really good ones on here, and some that are not as good. The money, obviously, 50 grand I just won. The car is good if you actually want the car. This car looks like shit, though. I mean, I guess that's subjective. I suppose it could look good to some people, but I would not even keep this for $0. I would just trash it and sell it and just be like, fuck this. I kept the one that I got, the last podium vehicle that I won, because I kind of do like it a little bit. I took it to the customization place and I got attached to it when I customized it, so I decided to keep it, even though it's worth nothing. So, I'm gonna go play blackjack, but I gotta get chips, because I don't have any chips. I need maximum chips. Thank you. I need my free chips, thank you. So basically how a casino works in real life is you don't have to buy chips like I just did. You just take your money and plop it down on the table, and the dealer will take the money and convert it into chips for you. And if you're new, they'll tell you how to play, which is really nice. They'll help you out too. If you're playing blackjack and you don't know exactly what to do as far as the betting is concerned, the dealer, if they're nice, will help you and tell you what to bet on. That's also kind of if they're not busy. If they're busy, they probably won't do that because, other people want to play fast. Basically, you go to your table, you sit down. Normally, this is where you'd hand the dealer your money and get chips, but this is different because it's a video game, so I already have chips. So I'll put down my bet, which I actually did not put down enough. I wanted to do 5,000 chips instead of 10, but that's fine. So the dealer is now supposed to be dealing me cards, but the game is having a bit of trouble. Let's see here. It's a bit frozen. I love how you can go through all these rules, but yeah. Yo, dealer, come on, baby. What? Okay, well this is messed up. Yeah, okay. So what I'm gonna do here, since it says I have cards, even though you can't see them, so the game is obviously glitched, I'm gonna go ahead and kick every player out of the session because that will hopefully help the situation. It seems like whenever there's players in the session, sometimes you get modders and hackers that do stupid shit and they mess things up, so I'm gonna go ahead and kick them out. Much as I like that guy's Tempesta that was sitting in the parking lot. Okay, that should be good enough. I'm using a trick that kicks people out of the session but keeps me in. Basically, you open your task manager and then you go to performance or the resource monitor and suspend the game process, which then kicks everybody out. Then you come back in and you reload. But I am now stuck in this, and that sucks. So I might actually be kind of fucked here. Because I can't get out of this. It'd be really nice if you could back out of this, but I'm kind of stuck. Well, thanks, modder, whoever the fuck you were. You just fucked me over. I'm gonna have to close the game out now, because I can't even get to the start menu. Great. That sucks. Cool. Thanks, hacker. You jerkbag. Alright, so one thing I can also try and do to keep myself in game at least is I can go to task manager and find the social club things and then kill them so that they cause the game to have to reload Rockstar's services. If I can find them. Oh shit, they're not in here. Well, they used to be here. Crap. I might be screwed then. Man, that stupid dickhead, whoever that was. It's 9:43. I intended to get some gambling done here. Scumbags. It's gonna take me forever to get back in. God damn it. Well, now I know to kill the players and get rid of them immediately, because I now have to restart the game. Or actually, I think I just found the social club UI. Might be able to fix this. Maybe. Fingers crossed. No, I'm still fucked up. Okay, maybe now... I think I just killed GTA altogether. Yep, I sure did. Sweet. I like how I'm in Gray Land. Yep, I signed out of GTA Online. I sure did. Because I was trying to get myself unfucked from the impossible not moving blackjack game. Which I now have to go back online because of that stupid cunt, whoever that was. Fuck them. Which is gonna be another 20 minutes of loading. Because they did not hire good programmers to make the game load. If they do anything for the next GTA, I would tell them, please God, make the game load faster. Because it takes so goddamn long to get this loaded. Maybe since it's already done it once, it won't take nearly as long. But I only intended to do this for about an hour, but it's been 45 minutes and I haven't even done what I was trying to do yet. I wanted to start the stream at 9. And then the streaming difficulties because of new YouTube interface, which I hate because it's stupid and I have to copy the stream key every fucking time, apparently. And then some hacker causes me to be unable to even finish my gambling. So this is great. Alright, as soon as this is giving me control, we're kicking everyone out immediately. Because I want to be able to fucking gamble correctly. Okay. Now we go out here and we find the thing that I'm looking for. And we suspend process. We wait a few seconds. And then we resume process. And that should take care of all of the assholes that I don't want in my session. Yep, they're all gone. Good. Fuck them. Screwing me up, causing my shit to not work. Alright, so now I gotta drive all the way back there and start that whole process again. Oh, I can't see the chat. Hang on. This fucker's really screwing me up. I killed it. The chat's gone. Shit. Well, now I gotta get it back. Hopefully it's still got everything. Alright, I think I can kind of see it. God, I hate... Everything gets fucked up by some random dickhead, and then I have to get all my windows and all my stuff. Like, I wish streaming was not as shitty. But I blame Rockstar for making me go out of the game to get rid of people and then having to come back in. There should be a way... Oh, what the fuck? Where did my... Maybe my 50,000 went in there? I don't know. Maybe they took it from me. Let me see what happens when I go spin the wheel again. Maybe it'll let me... And maybe I have to redo that because it fucked up. Can't tell. Alright, let's see. Should be nobody here. Good. Now, let's get that car back. Unfortunately, it's in the club still. The mechanic should be able to get it.
You calling for some wheels? I'm Johnny on the spot. I'll hook you up.
It's called Jester Classic.
I'll get there as soon as I can.
So it's the old school version of the quote-unquote new Jester, which I think this car is supposed to be a Toyota Supra. I think. That's kind of what it looks like. But I can't tell. I'm not that much of a car guy that I would know what this is supposed to be. I'm just thinking it looks like one. Maybe it's an old Nissan. Maybe an older Skyline. I don't know. The thing is, I know the modern cars more, but I don't know the classic ones. But yeah, this is again the podium car that I won, and it's $0.00, so it's essentially worthless. It's a fun little car though. I decided to keep it. I've actually won 2 podium cars. I got the Infernus Classic, which looks like a Lamborghini Diablo, and I already have that, so I sold it, and I got $3,000. So I was like, well, that sucks. Because if you look at it in the thing, in the car buying website, it is a lot more than $3,000. It's like $500,000 to buy it. So I was expecting to get $300,000 back from it when I sold it, and instead I got $3,000, which is nothing. So I was a little pissed off about that, and then I got this car and I was like, oh good, nothing. I get no money. And then when I sold it, or was going to try and sell it, it was like $0. And I'm like, oh good, I literally get nothing for this. Great. So, there was a thing where people were doing a glitch to get the podium cars over and over and over. So, my theory was that Rockstar made them worthless. Because people were, I think, probably going and selling them to get a ton of money. And the only thing Rockstar patches in this game, the only thing they give a shit about fixing, is money exploits. Because they don't want you to have money. They want to sell their stupid shark cards. So, if there's a way to earn money fast, they'll fucking change that in 2 seconds. If there's anything that breaks the game and makes it unfun or doesn't play right, they won't. That'll be in the game forever. I mean, I love what they did with this game. I love their support for it. I love most of what they have here. But, like, that one thing that they will only fix ways to make money is just the biggest kick in the balls. It's really shitty. The shark cards, fine. I'm okay with that. If people want to spend their real money to get fake money in this game, that's fine. I don't care. But when you take away something that's in the game code that the developers put in the game that makes me money fast, that's shitty. Because they're intentionally changing the game to make it harder for me to get money. And, I mean, it's not terribly hard to get money, but it's just annoying that ingenuity is crushed by greed.
Welcome. Bets, please.
Okay, so I'm gonna do max bet of 5,000,
Sorry, all
which
bets
is
are
what I usually do when I play this. Alright, so I got a 10, I got a 20, I'm good.
and a 3.
So basically, blackjack is, you're trying to get to the number 21 with your 2 cards, or, your cards. I have a face card, which is 10, and a 10, which is 20. The dealer has a 3 and a card that we don't know what it is yet. The dealer has looked at it. Well, I guess they don't look at it unless they've got a 10, because if they get a blackjack, we either tie or I lose.
Too much.
Oh, damn it. No, I wanted to stay. Fuck.
Win goes to the dealer.
I pressed the wrong button. Shit. I had a 20. I needed to stay. That was stupid. I pressed A because I wanted to, like... I don't know. I just pressed A, and that was the hit card.
7.
Basically, if you have a low number like 7, you want to hit, because you need to get closer to 21.
13.
13 is still too low.
There's a 19.
19 is good, so we're going to stay. The dealer has 17, so they lost. And they have to stay at 17. They can't go any further, because it says right there on the table, dealer must stand on 17. So if they don't have 17, they have to get there. If they already have 17, they can't go any further.
Blackjack for you.
I have a blackjack, I just
A
won.
10. There's a 12.
And the dealer got 12, so they blow. But an ace in blackjack is considered to be an 11 or a 1. So it's
All bets are
versatile.
closed. Let's begin.
I've got 5.
Have 16.
I've got 16.
A 4.
Because if you say that that's a 1 and a 5, that's 6, which is stupid. So it changes to 11 because that helps me get closer to 21. I'm going to hit, even though I'm at 16, which is
A
risky.
14. Another? It's your
I am
move.
at 14 now because I went over. If it would have been, if I had stayed at 11, and the 16 plus 8 would have gone over 21. So they switched it back to a 1, so I now have 14. So I'm gonna hit again.
There's a bust.
And I busted. I have more than
There's an
21,
8.
so I
And
lost.
the dealer wins.
But that's cool because I'm winning. I'm up
Place your
past
bets,
the
folks.
21,000 chips I had. So we're gonna go until I either hit 30,000 chips or I lose all the chips that I have.
There's an 11. An 11. We have a blackjack.
Damn, dealer got a blackjack, so he won. So I'm pretty much pissing away my chips, but that's okay because I won $50,000, which is 50,000 chips, and I
There's a
can
10.
only get 20,000 chips total per day. Well, I guess per
Would
grabbing.
you like a card?
I don't know if I can go back and get more immediately, but I usually just gamble the 20,000 chips. Because, I mean, I can get $20,000 by doing an assassination mission, so
There's
it's
a
nothing.
14.
It's peanuts.
Card for you. Please make your move.
This guy's getting a bit antsy, and I'm gonna have to fight him.
It's your move.
17's good, man.
A 14. A 17.
So we tied. So basically, I get my money back.
Bets, please.
This
Sorry,
guy's
all
being
bets
kind
are
of a
closed.
dickhead.
There's an 11.
Got 11.
A 9.
I gotta hit.
Would you like a card?
Can't do 11. That's too low.
21 on the table.
Nice.
A
I
20.
like how with 21, they don't even allow you to screw that up. I had a 20 and a hit,
Place your bets,
which is
folks.
stupid because you can literally, you can't even get a 1 card unless it's an ace, I
All
guess.
bets are closed. Let's begin.
So you can technically hit, but it's the dumbest thing ever because there's only 1 card in the entire deck. Well, I guess, you know, there's more than 1 ace, but you can literally only get an ace in order to not bust. So you really, really don't want to hit
Please make your
at
move.
20, which I have, and I'm not going further.
There's a 15. An 18.
I win. He got past 17, but he didn't beat me, so I win.
All right, that's it. Sorry.
This
all
one's
bets are
pretty
closed.
easy if you're good at math.
There's a 10.
And I like how the game tells me what I have in the upper left corner, so I don't actually have to
Would you
add.
like a card?
I need more. I only have 10.
A 19. Card for you.
19? I'm good. I'm staying.
A 20.
Damn, you got a 20. It's kind of like war, actually. It's like adult war,
All bets are closed. Let's begin.
which is why I think a lot of people like this game,
There's a
because
14.
it's pretty easy.
There's a 10.
Thankfully, he did not get a blackjack. He checks the card when he has a 10, because if the other card is an ace or whatever to get the blackjack, then he just wins.
There's a 16.
Because I wouldn't be able to beat him with the hand I have.
It's your move.
Okay, I want to hit, even though I'm at 16. It's risky.
Have 16. Card for you.
Really?
make your
16 again? Okay, well, hit again.
That'll be a bust.
I busted. Fuck.
A 13. Win goes to the dealer.
Now, the thing to know about gambling is that
Place your bets, folks.
the dealer and the house, like the dealer will always eventually win everything that you have.
12.
Because the probability of the dealer winning is higher.
Another?
But only slightly. Only slightly.
Bust,
So
I'm
you
afraid.
could get really lucky and win a lot of
There's a
money.
20.
But
And the dealer wins.
if you just keep playing all day, like for hour upon hour, you will lose everything.
All right, bets.
As you could see already, I was at 28,000 chips and I'm down to 13,000 now.
All bets are
so-
closed. Let's begin.
That doesn't tell you that gambling is not good.
A 14. An 11.
And I lost.
And blackjack.
Yep.
Win goes to the dealer.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk away,
Today, please come back anytime.
even though I still have some chips left, because I'm now gonna go play roulette. Which is even simpler to understand in terms of they're gonna spin a ball in that thing, and I have to put my bet on one of these numbers,
Place your bet.
or just do a color bet. So I am gonna be really risky, and I'm gonna bet all of my money on this one. Which is a set of numbers. So if one of those numbers gets hit, I get double my money, I think.
All bets are closed.
Basically those numbers on the table, the smaller, thinner rectangle where it says like second 12, third 12, first 12, the numbers below that, 19 to 36, I think the 2 to 1 tells you how much you get, I believe.
One more.
Let's do,
Put up your bets.
I think these are literal, like, I think the odds for all of this is the same. But these ones give you more. I like to do the stuff that has the better odds of winning. Or it gives you a better payout. Which, the better payout's actually the lower odds of winning. But
Bets are
I
done.
think in this
Let us
case,
begin.
the odds of winning and the payout are pretty close together, so it doesn't really matter. And it's a video game, so I don't give a shit. If this is real money, I don't think I would do blackjack. Or, I mean, roulette. I don't know that I do roulette in real life. Maybe just for funsies, maybe like once.
A red 5.
Nope, I lost.
You want to go again?
Sure, why not? Let's blow all the rest of them.
Bets, please.
Now, you'd be tempted to put your fucking chips all over this place and, playing blood money and shot 83 SPT. What's SPT? Shots and 37 of them hit. I don't, is that your accuracy? Alright, let's see what I get. Let's see where the ball lands. I probably should mark this stream as adults only. That way the gambling doesn't get me booted or whatever. Did I win?
All on 25 here.
Nope, I lost. I got 80 chips. Do it there. All of it. Max. I lost all 20,000 chips. As I got ahead in blackjack by 8,000 chips, which is $8,000 win, and then lost it. I was going for $10,000 of win, but it's cool because the $20,000 in chips that I blew is still only $20,000 of the $50,000 that I won spinning the wheel. That's kind of the key to gambling, is to take most of your winnings and set them aside and not use them. And then if you really want to continue gambling just because you don't want to like immediately be done, use some of your winnings to keep playing, but not all of it. 83 total shots, 30 of them actually hit a person with the, okay.
A black 22.
Yep, I lost again. Alright, well, that's gambling in GTA. I don't even bother with the slot machines because the odds of winning are so low that it's just like worthless. Plus, I find that the slot machines are extremely boring. Even though watching the ball spin around isn't really that entertaining either. Gambling is fun in extremely small bursts. That's kind of the reason why I don't use much money in it either, because it's like, if I end up winning and I keep wanting to win more, I'll stay there forever. Gambling is not really enough to keep me entertained for more than like at least probably about an hour is about as much as I could do in one sitting. I'd have to go do something else just to get off of sitting there. So yeah, we'll now go break up the monotony by doing some missions. So I came out of that with $30,000, which is a little over what I'd get in an assassination mission, so pretty okay, even though I blew $20,000 on losing at the casino. Which, again, I planned on doing, so no worries. It would have been nice if I'd come out with even more money, but that's okay. That's what happens at a casino. You hope to win money, but you're probably not gonna. So let's see. VIP work. Let's do Headhunter again. Okay, it was a bit risky of me to do that there because it could have been outside of the city, but thankfully they are in the city. I will stream Hitman 2 again, relatively not that far, like probably next stream or so, because this was just kind of a one-off, because I wanted to do a casino stream for GTA Online, but I just didn't get around to it. Mostly because of Hitman and some other distractions. Okay, now they're gonna die. That man has the right idea.
Whoa! Let's finish this.
I want to make him take it directly.
Retreat! Retreat, everyone! Knock everyone!
Swear to God, you shoot me again, I will come over there and beat you to death with a hammer. He asked for it.
Give me a minute. I gotta reload.
Take that, bitch.
I'm so done with this. Moron!
Yeah, Hitman is pretty good. My first ever playing of Hitman is Hitman 2, and I like it. I enjoyed watching Funhouse play Hitman on YouTube. I don't know if you know what Funhouse is, but they're part of Achievement Hunter's like team of streamers. They have like different groups, and one of those is Funhouse. So those guys did some pretty good videos on Hitman. I enjoyed those, so I figured I'd play Hitman 2 since it looked like fun. And I've been enjoying it. I like that you can do so many different things. That you can get through the mission in so many different ways. I like that a lot. I also am a pretty big fan of stealth games, so I really enjoy Hitman 2. I'm just pretty bad at it. Fuck fucking up my car. God damn them. My car better still be there, cops. I've had it where the cops kill me, so then my car disappears and goes to the impound lot, and it's just like, fuck that. I'm in the middle of something, I need to get stuff done in a certain amount of time. I can't be bothering with getting my car back. There we go. Problem solved. And now we go. Hopefully my tires didn't get shot out. I don't believe I have bulletproof tires on this yet. I really like this interesting paint scheme that they have here. This is not the default what was on the car when I bought it. This green and blue stuff is something that I added to it. It's called a livery, which is a fancy way of saying a unique paint job. I mean, a livery might be a sticker, I don't know. Because there are... In the car world, there are things called wraps, where you wrap the car with a giant sticker or vinyl. But I think a livery is a paint job. I think they actually paint that shit on there. So, but I really like that, so. Gave you a title thing depending on what you do, like murder everyone you're a killer, I see. That is interesting. I don't think Hitman 2 has that. I think it just gives you a score and says this, you did this. That would be kind of neat though. I remember the game that I played when I was little, 007 on the Nintendo 64. Depending on what you did in the multiplayer match, it gave you something like dishonorable or coward, backstabber, most deadly, where's the ammo. It would do things like that. Time Splitters used to do that too. That was a good one. These old games that people are finding to be fashionable now. Like, oh gosh, we gotta play the N64 games. All these retro consoles that come out, you plug it into the TV and play the games. We were expecting Nintendo to put out an N64 thing like that this year, but they didn't for some reason. Maybe they're waiting until next year. But I still have my Nintendo 64. It's, out of all of the old video game consoles I have, the Nintendo 64 is probably the most nostalgic because I played that one the most. I had a PlayStation, I had a Dreamcast, I had a Sega Genesis. I think I even had a Nintendo Entertainment System, which is the NES, the old, really old one. I did briefly have a Super Nintendo, but I lost that. But out of all the old ones, my favorite is still the N64. And then the GameCube, which was good too. And I do still have my GameCube. I picked up an old Wii because I used to have a Wii, but then I gave it to my nephews. So I picked up a replacement Wii Because I got rid of the Wii U, which played Wii games, and had all my Wii saves on it, actually, which sucks. Because I sold my Wii U to get a Switch. So there went all my Wii saves that I had. So that kind of sucks. Let's see, what could I do? It's 10, 15. Guess I could steal a car. Do a car stealing mission to get money. Pretty much just earning cash so I can get the fancy Annis car. Annis. Which is the race car. It's like one that you'd have at a formula, like a Le Mans style endurance race. Let's see. I was gonna do the car stealing, but then I remembered that I gotta go do the club to keep the club earning money. Because it just earns money over time, but you have to go and do missions to keep the popularity up, so it keeps making money. Even though the missions for this don't give you as much money. So I should go this way. In this street. So this puts me right at the club. This is the kind of car that I could actually buy in real life. If it wasn't like a classic, super rare car. If it was like a 90-something Civic, I could probably get it for like maybe 10,000. If it was like a really good one. Maybe like 4 or 5 if it was a shitty one. Pretty much your used car market, if it's a good car, it'll be almost new. It'll be almost like $20,000 or $30,000 if it's a $20,000 or $30,000 car, or if it's a truck, it might be like almost $40,000, which is insane. But cars are expensive, even when they're used, unless they're really old and broken down and crappy, in which case they are maybe a couple of $1,000s or even $100. You can, in fact, buy a car for like $500, let's say. The person selling it to you will probably want at least $500 because it's a car. That's a pretty big item to sell for $500, but yeah, there are cars that are so old that they, in fact, are almost worthless, and therefore you can pick them up for $500. It will probably be a piece of junk that you'll have to fix for a lot of money. You'll probably have to put at least $5,000 or so dollars, depending on what's wrong with it. If it's, you don't want to buy a car that doesn't have a good transmission, because that's like the main component that spins from the engine to the wheels, which is extremely hard to fix and costs a lot of money to fix. That is like, you just junk it. You just take it to a junkyard and get rid of it because it's useless. But if it's like the engine needs some work, or the tires need to be replaced, or the wheels themselves need to be replaced, it might be worth it. Maybe. I'm not much of a car guy, so I can't really say for sure, but I tend to only buy a car that can actually drive, and I don't have to do anything to it because I don't want to do anything to it. It takes time to fix a car, especially if it's not like a tire or a headlight or something that's easy to get to. If it's way in there, I ain't touching it, because I don't want to take things out to get to it. I don't want to take the entire engine out just to replace a tiny piece. I'll let somebody that's trained do that and pay them like $100. Because it might take me like 2 years to do it, whereas it'll take them maybe 45 minutes. In fact, I have to take my actual car in this weekend I'm going to take it to the dealership because I have an error code that says a lot of things. There's a couple of things that the error lights are telling me need to be looked at. I thankfully have lights that are like, there's not a thing wrong with the car, but it needs to be changed. Kind of like the oil. If the oil needs to be changed out, then you just change the oil instead of fixing a broken thing. But I did just change the oil like a week ago. So, and I did not change it. I took it to a place and they changed it for me. That was $90. So I get to pay another probably like I'm looking somewhere between $150 to $200 to fix maybe 3 things. I gotta get the filter for the cabin, which is when the car sucks air in, it pushes air into your car so you can breathe it. That is called the cabin filter. Because it puts air into the place of the car that you sit in, which is called the cabin, instead of the regular air filter, which goes into the engine. That one is smaller and easier to fix, so it doesn't cost as much. But yeah, my cabin filter had like literal dirt and like junk in it. So I did not have them replace that when I got my oil changed because it was another $30, and I was like, I'm already paying like $80, so let's hold off on it. But I'm gonna get that done. They have to check the brakes because that was one of the error code things, was check brakes. Which again, thankfully, I think it was like not that they're broken, which would suck because I wouldn't be able to stop. But I think it's just that they need to be looked at because the car is old enough that they need to be checked. The other one is, let's see, it was a 1, a 2, and a 7. The 1 was like, it was a B, 1, a 2, and a 7. And I actually kind of forget what the numbers are now. But the B was a thing, the 1 was a thing, the 2 was a thing, and the 7 was a thing. So I've got 4 error codes that I need to have messed with at the dealership. I'm taking it to the dealership because they are trained to handle specifically cars that they are selling. So they know more about the car than somebody like a Jiffy Lube that changes oil on every car. Normally you could get away with taking your car anywhere and just having them deal with the thing, but I like my car very much. I really like to take good care of it, and I want to have the things done to it correctly. So I'm taking it to the dealership where they're trained specifically to deal with my car. So I'm gonna do that. If it's an oil change, I'll take it to Jiffy Lube because, you know, an oil change is literally you just unscrew a thing on the bottom of the car to let the old oil out, and then you put the new oil in the top part of the car where the engine is. Then you're done. It takes very little time. I don't do it because I'm lazy, but I could do it. It's not really that hard. Part of the problem with my car is a low vehicle, so I can't get under it very easy. I would actually have to drive the car up on something because I literally cannot get under it. On my dad's truck, I could probably get under it, and I could probably reach the oil thing and probably do that. But since my car is low to the ground, it is difficult to change the oil, so I just take it to Jiffy Lube. Oil changes are pretty easy and straightforward because, well, they're just designed to be easy. But that one happens more frequently. It is something I expect my car to do. Every car that I have owned, I've had to do the oil change, or I've had to change the oil on it frequently, so I'm not as miffed about paying for that maintenance. I am a little concerned about my car's brake light, the brakes thing being notified that it needs to be looked at, but it did specifically say in the manual that at 30,000 miles to check the brakes, so that's probably why. There's other things that I can't remember again what those error codes all were, but they were all pretty routine stuff. I think one of them was the air cabin filter. I think that's one. The one or the two was the cabin filter that needs to be changed, and it did. When they showed it to me at Jiffy Lube when I got my oil change, they showed me the filter that they took out of the car, and it looked dirty. So it does need to be changed. I forget what the last error code was. It might have been something to do with the wheels, but I don't remember. I did just remember it. It's the transmission, like I said, is the big piece under the car that spins from the engine all the way to the wheels. There's something about fluid for that needs to be changed, and that's also something that happens on every car. Not as often as the oil. The oil you change like once a year. Transmission fluid, I think you change every like 20,000 miles or something like that. It's a pretty decent length of time between doing that. So even though it's going to cost an arm and a leg to get that done, I probably want to do it because it needs to be done. The one thing I have been experiencing about my car that is annoying to have to do all the fucking time is the tires are always not at the right pressure. So you inflate a car with air, car's tires with air, and it gets to a certain pressure level. Normally on a car, you don't change the pressure at all. You just fill them up and you let them go, and they just stay at the same pressure for a while. Eventually you'll inflate them again, but my car has sensors that detect whether the air pressure is too high or too low. Normally your car's tire pressure will be low because it just loses air just somehow. The air just comes out. And you fill it back up. But you usually wouldn't have to do that for like months, because tires just don't lose air that much. But in my case, my idiot tire sensors are way too sensitive, so when it gets hot, the pressure expands, and you have more pressure in the tires. It goes from where it's supposed to be, which is 35 psi, up to, let's say, 37 or 38 psi. And so my car sees this change in pressure and freaks out because it's like 2 psi different, which is retarded. If you really care about the safety of your vehicle, the pressure should probably not be 10 psi different. If you're supposed to be at 30 and you're down to like 10 or like 20, then your tire is going to be pretty flat. It's not going to be all the way flat, but it's going to be pretty flat. A 5 psi difference is your tire is still inflated and you can't visually even see the difference. Like, if you were to kick it, you wouldn't feel it be squishy. It's not even really noticeable. So the car having a very, very sensitive sensor is, in my opinion, retarded, because the idea is you sense that the tire is dangerously under or over inflated, right? If it's about to blow up or it's flat, then you want to know about it. But if it's like barely changed, then that's stupid. So my car is dumb in that it is very sensitive to the pressure changes. And I've been fighting that all summer, and it's just driving me nuts.
It's me. Don't hang up.
But that's what you put up with cars. There'll be a thing that annoys you about it, and you just have to live with it because cars are expensive. Now, it might drive you crazy enough to get a new car. Like, my old car, my Jeep, had extremely bad gas mileage in that I would drive too short of a distance before I had to fill up my tank of gasoline. So I got annoyed by that because, you know, I was paying too much money. And then the radio would not work with my phone very well. It worked, but it was not very good. Like, the signal to my phone was bad, so it had a delay where if you started a song, it would wait a few seconds and then it would start. And that just, it really, really annoyed me a lot. And then I saw the Civic, the Honda Civic, was like really cool. I liked it a lot, so I was like, I'll get the Civic. And oh, hi, Kaio. I see that you are now back. But so I bought the Civic instead because I liked it better visually, and it had a better radio, and it had better gas mileage, and it was just seemed like it was everything better at the time. What I didn't know was that the tire pressure system sucked, as I have found out and I have been explaining. The other thing I don't like about it is that the cool safety feature that it has a camera mounted in the rear view right hand side passenger door mirror is only on that side. It is not on the left side. So when you turn your blinker on to turn, it only goes, it shows you a video on the center console of the car what the right hand side camera sees, but it will not show you the left side because they did not put a camera on that side. I do not know why they neglected to put one on the left side, but it is an intentional design feature. It's not like they forgot to. So I don't know why they designed it that way. That seems dumb. I would think you would want a camera on both sides, but it's whatever. It's, again, that's not something that bothers me so much that I'd want to get rid of the car. All right, well, Kaio, you have a good night, and good night to you. Thank you for stopping by. I usually don't have anyone in my chat, so thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. I hope that doesn't take too long to come in, because I know there's a delay. That delay is like several minutes. But yeah, I will be doing more Hitman, so if you like Hitman a lot and you're bummed that I'm not doing it, this was just a one-off, so Hitman will be back. Just wanted to play this because I hadn't yet. I wanted to show the casino stuff. So, Hitman will return. Don't worry. I don't know if it will return this week, It might. I'm not. I don't have a stream schedule, so you just have to keep your eye on Twitter. I'm not as popular as some of the big name YouTubers. I don't think I would be on regularly enough to do that, so all of my people that follow me on Twitter or on YouTube are just like, man, this guy sucks.
He's there. We got him.
But yeah, that was my spiel about cars and what I like and dislike. My next vehicle that I am looking to buy at some point in the very distant future is I'm looking into buying a electric truck. They do not make them currently, but one is in development. They are planning on making a Rivian T1, I think is what it's called. They might call it something else eventually, but its current name is the T1. It was made by the company Rivian, which is not a company that makes cars right now, because the T1 is one of their first vehicles that they are making. They are, like Tesla, a new company that has not very often made cars. But I am interested in their electric truck that they're making, because I want a truck, and I want one that's electric because I want to not have a gas-powered car.
I gotta reload.
So the Rivian looks neat because it's got, since it's an electric truck, it doesn't have an engine in the front, which means that area is then turned into storage. And from what I could see, they did a lot of really cool things with the dead space that would normally be filled by car parts. Like, it's got a storage thing between the cab, which is where again you sit in the car, the truck, and the bed, which is where the back of it, where you put things in it. So that looked cool, and I was interested to see what else they do with it. Again, that truck is not available. It will be. Their goal is to make them available to buy in 2021, which is 2 years. Well, not next year, but the year after, let's say. So hopefully they get that out, and hopefully I have more money by then. Currently, I am not doing super well in terms of money, but I'm trying to save up for a house, and that is difficult when you don't make much. But that is the next financial goal that I am trying to reach, is owning a home. And then once I have that down, I can work on buying the truck. I probably will be replacing my car with the truck, because I probably will not be able to buy a truck in 10 years without selling my car. I'm figuring that by the time the electric truck is within my reach financially and I sell my car, I won't need my car and won't need a gas-powered vehicle anymore. But we'll see. I do really like my car. I actually would like to keep it. I kind of wanted to keep the Jeep that I had too, but I needed to sell the Jeep in order to buy the car, and that might be the case for the truck too. I might need to sell my car to buy the truck. Which, considering I have replaced the tires on this freaking car and had issues with the pressure sensors and just It's not to the point where I want to get rid of my car yet, but we're getting there. If more problems arise and I'm constantly fixing the car, I will be inclined to sell it. So I've had some fun with this vehicle. It's called the Classic Jester, or the Jester Classic. Actually, is the way it's called. It's based on the Dinka Jester, which is a race car. So I think this again. I feel like this is based on the Supra, but I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm usually wrong when it comes to these cars. I'll probably look it up on stream and then reveal my stupidity here at the end. I'm just gonna take this guy back to my... I might do one more mission because I'm actually having fun with this car. Where's the RC car race at? Oh, it's in a new place. Let's do that. I'm gonna do that because if I win that RC car time trial, I get 200,000, which is a big pile of money. Damn it, it's not on frame. Shit. It is going the other way, but I need to be over here. Shit. Where the fuck is it? Left or right of me? Over here. So yeah, if I have an opportunity to earn $200,000, I am all over it. That is heist money. So in this game right now, $20,000 I can very easily get by doing an assassination mission. So $20,000 to me is nothing in this game, since I can get it very easily. But multiplied by 10, 200,000 in one go is really good. So I'm gonna do that. I probably won't get it though, because I'm not very good at this. I especially won't be very good when I don't know the course. Yeah, there's cars. Oh shit. I have to be all the way over here. Do I have to be here? Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna get the par time now. This is actually gonna probably be really hard. The one that I did where I actually won it was very difficult. It took me a lot of tries. Shit. Yep, I crashed. That's pretty much a fail. Shit. That's a definite fail. But I want to finish the course so that I at least know what the hell I'm looking at. Yeah, this is going to be really hard. I am fucking up hugely. See how bad I did. How many checkpoints did I miss in the short time that I fucked up? Wow, I missed a lot. Wow, I missed a lot. Jesus, I suck at this bad. Holy crap, that's a lot. I really fucked that up. I did get $1,000, but that's nothing compared to the 200,000 I would get if I actually did this right. So one thing I'm going to do is move my car out of the way, because at one point it was kind of in the way. Not really, it could go around it pretty easily, but this is part of the track right here, so let's move this out of the way. Okay. Now she's out of the way. We will try again. I probably will not get it. It took me like a lot of attempts to get it the one time I did succeed on the other course. So I will probably not be beating this during the stream. But I'll make a few more attempts. It's like, once you figure out the course and know every turn, and can take the turns really fast, you will have a better shot at winning. But I probably just fucked up hugely. I believe the regular time trial that's not the RC car gives you 50,000. But this is 200,000. Now, I believe, from what I read in a San Andreas review, that the RC time trials in San Andreas were extremely difficult. So I'm thinking they made this extremely difficult to do. And they did. To get the time that they need you to get to win this, they did make this pretty damn tough. And I fucked up. Yep, I missed it. But I'm still gonna finish the course because I want to get practice at it. Eventually I will get good enough to do it. 12 seconds off. The thing that sucks about it if I finish it without doing it correctly is I have to go walk to it again. Whereas if I screw up and decide I need to start over right away, I can hold down Y and it will put me right at the start again, I think. Either that or it'll put me right where I was standing. I like that they, I think, did make this so that it doesn't get into traffic too much. Because having a car come at you would really fuck this all up. And I've probably already lost because I hit something and had to correct myself. You really, if you want to beat this in the par time, you really cannot make any mistakes. You have to floor it anytime there's a straightaway, for sure. Definitely not going to do it. I don't know the course enough yet. Yep, and it failed again. Yep, so it pretty much just acts like you got to the finish. So it's not technically any beneficial if I'm like right at the end. But if I fuck up Royal early, I can immediately stop. This one seems hard because it's like... The other one was at the construction site, so it was less obstacle-y. I felt like, anyway. Maybe not. Maybe it was in my head, but felt like there were less obstructions there. That and I had a minute 50. This one I only had a minute 30 to do it. But that depends on the checkpoints. If there's less checkpoints, less time is okay. That one had a lot of checkpoints. I think this one has about the same number though. It feels that way anyway. Definitely doing better this time, but I probably won't beat the par time. Nope, no way. When it starts beeping like that, I have very, very little time left. Nope, didn't make it. Really close, but nope. Okay, I'm not gonna try it anymore because that's probably getting boring to watch me redo that a million times. So I will now go ahead and end the stream. I'll come back and try that later and maybe beat it. Maybe. It'll definitely get me a giant pile of cash if I do. So I'm dead back. I'm gonna take this car back and put it in my office garage so that it's not at the club. I go to the club anyway, but I like to take a car to the club, and this was the car I wanted to take, so not having it at the office, which is where I started out at, was annoying. So I'm moving it to the club, or the office, which is right next to the place where I spawn, which is my apartment. I like to be in a safe place when I start, because sometimes I'm in a session full of murderous people. I really like the library, this library. It's really nice. I wish I could get this on my other cars. But that's why I decided to keep this one. This library convinced me. It's also a pretty fun car to drive. It's not very good, but it's fun. That's the key. It doesn't have to be a really good performing, really fast, really maneuverable car, as long as it's fun. Because I'm in a session all by myself with no other people. So I'm not needing to race them or outmaneuver them or anything like that. I'm just here to have fun. And this car does a pretty good job being fun. So I decided to keep it. I didn't keep the Infernus Classic because, again, I already had one. And I didn't really have... I feel like I don't want to waste space on cars I already have one of. I mean, I could have made it a different color so that I have different color options for the same car, but it's just like, I'll just take the one I have and go paint it a different color. Because that's way cheaper. And it saves space for cars that are different. If I fill up all the space I have with cars that are the same, I'm gonna need to buy more property to store the cars in. And that is really expensive. Not just to buy the property, but also every property you own in GTA Online gives you more money that you have to pay in terms of daily utilities, which is a thing that happens every so often in the game. You pay your quote-unquote utilities. So with every property, that number goes up. So I'm trying to keep my property count low. Which is why I don't have a penthouse for the casino. Because that's another property that I have to pay utility fees for, so. Let's see what the Jester Classic actually is. I put Jews in by mistake. Because I was typing Jester and I put a W. Classic sports car. Blah 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 blah. Model itself, yada yada yada. Tell me what it's supposed to look like. What is it supposed to be? It is Toyota Supra. I was correct. That's what I thought it was. Only vehicle manufactured by Dinka that has no Honda-inspired design elements. Because, yeah, they take a car in real life, or, well, they base their cars that they make in GTA on real cars. And this one is supposed to mostly look like a Toyota Supra. So, I was correct. Apparently you can make the race car version. Let's see here. Jester Classic Fast and Furious. Apparently this car was featured in Fast and Furious. Probably the first one, because I don't remember seeing it in the second one or any of the other ones, which are the ones I've seen, which is not the first one. I have not seen that one. Anyway, thank you for watching, and you guys have a great night. See you later.